Hey everyone, welcome to my 2026 NHL playoffs predictions. Very excited to do this. Very excited to finally have the NHL playoffs. It's been a long season. I've been paying attention to hockey ever since it started on October 8th. So yeah, here we are 6.5 months later, and the playoff bracket is set. I mean, right away, just seeing teams like Buffalo, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Anaheim. I mean, even Montreal maybe. It's just NHL is really unpredictable, and there's a lot of teams who have the capability of being a top 16 team in the league. I mean, we've seen plenty of teams miss who were very capable of doing so as well, such as Washington, the Islanders, the Predators came pretty close in that kind of mediocre West playoff race, as well as the San Jose Sharks. I mean, this year was just wild. So the playoffs, we'll see what they have in store for us, and I can only imagine things will be great. Hopefully, we get some new Stanley Cup finalists. Hopefully, not Tampa, just because we've seen them. Obviously, Florida not even in the tournament. They are not going to be back. And as far as the West goes, I mean, I don't really want Vegas to go because, again, we've kind of seen them as well, and I just want new teams. And I know I said I want new teams, but actually Edmonton's kind of a fun one. I feel like the peak Edmonton Oilers in the playoffs over these past two seasons have been very fun to watch, as well as the Florida Panthers. So I actually didn't mind that rematch. But it's obviously not going to happen a third straight time, as Florida has not made the tournament. So we're going to get right into this here. We're going to start here. Colorado and the Kings. Now, looking at these two teams on paper, it's not close. The stats aren't close. The lines aren't close. I'm going to end up going Colorado here. I think a lot of people are as well. And sorry, Kings fans, another first round exit could be on the horizon. But fun way to end the year, going on a little 10-game point streak there, and giving Anze Kopitar a chance at least to make some more noise in the playoffs here. Dallas and Minnesota, we've known this playoff matchup was going to happen basically since November, which is crazy. And here we are in April, and it finally is going to happen. And now we're going to get to see which of these two teams comes out on top. I think when it comes to Dallas and Minnesota, these are two very exciting teams to watch, two of my favorite teams to watch. And that's coming from a Predators fan. I really like the Dallas Stars. I just think they're so fun to watch. As for Minnesota, I think they can be when they're on their game. But at times, they kind of lose composure, if you know what I mean. And when they're cold, things just don't look good. You could say the same thing for Dallas, for sure. But Dallas has the more recent playoff success, at least in winning round one matchups. So I'm going to have to go with Dallas. I think it'll be a close series. If it goes 7 games, I wouldn't be surprised at all. But I think Dallas is just a bit more of a complete team. I mean, Minnesota is not too far from that either. But for Dallas, I mean, playoff Mikko Rantanen is a big part of it. Miro Heiskanen, we don't know what's going to happen with the injury, but hopefully everything checks out there. Obviously, Dallas was missing Miro Heiskanen in the round one series with Colorado last year, and they were still able to get it done. So I don't really fear that Miro Heiskanen is going to be the difference maker if they have to go into a matchup against Minnesota. Tyler Seguin, he might not play either. Rope Hintz, I'm not too sure, but hopefully the injuries aren't too big of a concern when it comes to the Dallas Stars. And as for Minnesota, I think they definitely have a lot of pieces to like. I think Kirill Kaprizov obviously has been fantastic. Matt Boldy's had a really good year. Obviously, Quinn Hughes has been a big difference maker here. And then when it comes to goaltending, Gustafson's been really good. Wallstead is probably your future there. But yeah, I think it's going to end first round, unfortunately, for Minnesota. Vegas and Utah. So I'm going to try to pick with my brain here and not my heart, because I really do want Utah to win. And I'm not even picking Vegas yet, actually. I'm kind of on the fence with this one, actually. Vegas has been very good recently going into playoffs. I just said LA had the 10 game point streak. That was Vegas, who I was thinking of. LA was 6-2-2 in their last 10, but they were definitely getting better. And when you look at Vegas on paper, I mean, there's no issues really. Obviously, goaltending kind of an issue, and that's big come playoff time. I actually kind of like Utah's goaltending a little bit more. I think Vamelka, we might see him a lot, and I think I could see him potentially stealing some games in this series. Now, is goaltending going to be the difference? I don't really know. It's kind of hard to say. I think Utah has some fun pieces here. I mean, Keller, Schmaltz, Krause, Cooley, Gunther. And yeah, they're just, I mean, JJ Peterka is still on that third line, by the way. And yeah, I really want Utah to get this done. But I'm just going to go with Vegas. They've been playing much better recently, which is weird because they've had a very mediocre season at best. And it's weird to say that they have a chance to go all the way to the conference final because, again, they've been very mediocre this year. We'll see what happens, though. Edmonton and Anaheim. I'm not going to make this one too long. It's good for Anaheim to finish top 3 in this division. I know the division was weaker this year, but they definitely looked fun at times this year. I think this is where it ends, though, ultimately. I think Edmonton is going to get it done, and I think it's going to be about 5 games. I think the Oilers in the playoffs are kind of just a different machine usually over these past few years, and if that's the case, I think that's going to happen. I think Vegas and Utah will go to 6, similar to the Minnesota-Vegas series we had last year. Dallas, Minnesota, we'll go 7, why not? Colorado, LA, with all due respect, I'm going to go 4. Now, moving on to the Eastern Conference. Some of these matchups are a lot closer than some of these in the West. Carolina's our number 1 seed in the East, by the way. Buffalo's just appeared based off the Atlantic Division, I guess. But Buffalo and Boston, this is going to be a really, I think, physical and scrappy series. I'm going to want to catch every second of this series. I mean, I did not expect Boston to be this good. Obviously, not Buffalo either, but to me, it makes a little more sense, even despite their, history of winning games and making the playoffs over the past 14 years. Regardless of that, though, they've been fantastic this year. When it comes to Boston, there's a lot of pieces I like here. Issue is just kind of a lack of playoff experience, and is your David Pastrnak enough to really push this team? Like, I don't see the depth there that I see with Buffalo. I think Buffalo has a little bit better physicality and size than Boston, and I think they have a little bit more star power and speed as well. Buffalo should win this series. Now, I could definitely see Boston getting the upset, especially just knowing Buffalo, unfortunately. But I'm going to stick with the Sabres here. Montreal and Tampa. This is going to be a fun one as well. We've seen these teams play each other very hard over the regular season, and I believe they split the series. And obviously, this is the rematch of the 2021 Stanley Cup Final. 2 very different teams, especially Montreal, though. And I'm actually gonna go with Montreal. Now, Tampa has not won a round since they lost the Stanley Cup to Colorado in 2022. And for a team like Tampa, who's really only getting older, I don't know if I can say that that's going to change. I do think this is going to be a close series. I don't think it's going to be like the Florida-Tampa series that we saw. But I just have this gut feeling about Montreal. I think Dobesh is going to be fantastic in net, and Vasilevsky has looked shaky at times, even in the playoffs over the past few seasons. So that's my reasoning for picking Montreal. And Carolina will play Ottawa. Yeah, this one's a little easy for me to pick, and I do really respect the Sens. I actually do want them to advance too. I think they're a fun team to watch. But at the end of the day, Carolina just knows how to play this style of hockey and make it to the conference finals. And at this point, it's just can they get past that? I think they're going to get there, especially with their matchup being Pittsburgh or Philadelphia. No disrespect to either of these two. We'll go ahead and pick this series here. This is one I'm on the fence about. So, Battle of Pennsylvania, very excited to see that. I haven't, well, I guess none of us have seen this in the playoffs since 2018, which was my first true season as a fan. And I think goaltending for Pittsburgh is obviously a little shaky. We'll see how Skinner ends up. He does have the capability of performing in the playoffs. He's shown it in the past, so we'll see what he can do. As far as Philadelphia, I don't think things are like 100% better, but maybe like Vladar better. And oh man, this is tough. I think. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna go Philadelphia. I know a lot of people pick Pittsburgh. It's Crosby and whatnot. I really don't care. I kind of want Philadelphia to win. I know a lot of people don't want the same thing, but I just really want to see new teams. So screw it. We're having fun with this. Um, None of us know what's going to happen. I don't know more than you. I guess I can't speak to say if you know more than me, but yeah, we're just going to have some fun with this. I have a hard time with these brackets every year because there's so many different outcomes, and obviously there's a lot of different competitive teams. Buffalo and Boston, I could see this going 7. We'll say 6 though. Actually, 7-game series are just not super common. Tampa, Montreal. I think this will also be 6 games. Carolina, Ottawa. We constantly see Carolina win in 5 games. I think that probably happens again. Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. This is a 7-game series. That's exactly what I think of when I think of 7-game series. Round 2 is set. We're gonna stay here in the bottom right corner. That's how I do these. I already said I'm gonna go Carolina. Nothing's gonna change here. Again, Carolina. Can you advance past the second round? That's what I'm really wondering. Buffalo and Montreal. Oh my gosh, I would be so happy if this matchup ends up happening. And to be honest, I don't know who I'd be cheering for. Like, I really like Montreal. I've always liked them, especially since that 2021 Cup run. But Buffalo hasn't been there, so I don't know. Maybe I'm cheering for Buffalo. Let me just double check Montreal's line combinations here, just to remember. I can't just think of 20 skaters off the top of my head, or 18 skaters and 2 goalies. Well, 2 goalies, yeah, but you guys get what I'm saying. Yeah, Caulfield, Suzuki, and Slavkovsky have just been fantastic this year. I mean, that line's just, it has looked really good. You got some good forward depth, and definitely a young team. But you could say the same thing for Buffalo, of course. And sounds like my PC is overloading, unfortunately. So I'm gonna try to speed this up just a little bit. And Dobesh, yeah. For some reason, I just have this good feeling about Montreal. And for Buffalo, yeah, they look really good too. Obviously, I mean, I feel a little bit more confident in Montreal's goaltending. This is a really, really tough matchup for me to pick, and I just Montreal. I'm gonna go with Montreal. I have that feeling, and that's the only reasoning I can think of because it's so close. Dallas and Colorado. Yeah, this is gonna be probably 7-game series. What a fun series would this be to watch. I feel like we've seen this one before, haven't we? You know, maybe a little recently, over the past few years. Yeah, I'm sorry, Avs fans, but I'm gonna go with Dallas again. This is in sports. I'm one who tends to just say history is going to repeat itself, especially come playoff time. I mean, in the NFL, for example, we see Buffalo, Kansas City every year. We get that Mahomes versus Allen matchup, and people are always like, "Oh, this year is gonna be different." And I can't fault you for thinking that. I mean, a lot of times recently, Buffalo has looked like the better team, and I know this didn't happen the past season. Kansas City literally missed the playoffs, so it's like, what are you talking about? But it's just it's just an example of history repeating itself in major sports. And I'm sorry, Buffalo fans, to like bring this up, but in the NHL's case, Dallas and Colorado. So what? It was in 2020. Dallas beat them in round two. In 20, when else did they play? I guess 20. I guess just 24 and 25. But that's still three times. I mean, four times is crazy. But we saw that also with Edmonton and LA. I'm gonna go with Dallas. That's not my only reasoning. Playoff Mikko Rantanen is part of the reason, and just Dallas's playoff success in general over the past few seasons. I know they haven't advanced past this round, but getting to this round really hasn't been a problem for them. And even though you have this monster in Colorado with so much center depth, with Nelson, Kadri, and McKinnon, I'm gonna go with Dallas. I just have a feeling that they are gonna still end up taking it. Vegas and Edmonton. Again, kind of going back to that history repeats itself thing. I don't think this matchup has been as prevalent. In fact, Vegas won this matchup in 2023. I'm going to go with Edmonton. I think I'm going to trust that the playoff Oilers will come back this year. Despite a lot of things changing this season. Really, the Atlantic Division here is the only like part of this bracket that things feel like this season, because this season a lot of things are changing. Everything else is kind of like, oh yeah, this would have happened, past seasons. Carolina, Edmonton, and Dallas in the conference final. We've seen that before. Like we've seen it as recently as last year. We also saw all three teams in the conference final in 2023. So, or 2020, yeah, in 20. No, Edmonton wasn't there in 2023. Edmonton was there in 24 and 25. Carolina was there in 23 and 25. And Dallas was there 23, 24, and 25. So just increasing that number of teams, and then adding Montreal in there, which would be definitely fun. So between Edmonton and Dallas, I know I've been, beating this dead horse of the history repeating itself, but Edmonton this year has, regular season wise, looked a little bit weaker. And again, I know that kind of goes against what I've been saying about how playoff Edmonton is different and how history repeats itself, but I just think it's Dallas. When they're on their game, they can be a truly scary team, and to me, a very fun one to watch. And I think they finally advanced to the Stanley Cup final for the first time since 2020 bubble season. Montreal and Carolina. This would be a really interesting matchup. I think goaltending goes to Montreal. I know Dovish is not amazing, but I also don't think Carolina's goaltending situation. It's really one of the sketchiest of the whole playoffs, and that factor alone, it's hard to say that you're going to go to the Cup finals with sketchy goaltending that sketchy. Edmonton has been able to do it, but Carolina in their past trials has not. I mean, they've lost the conference final now. What is it, 4 times in the past 6 seasons? So I don't think I can pick them because of that. And I know Carolina fans are definitely not happy with me for saying that. But I mean, don't listen to me first off. You're allowed to have your own predictions. This is just me going with my gut feeling. And this team has looked really good at times this year, most of the season, in fact. But they haven't shown that they can win this round. I know Montreal this specific team hasn't shown anything, but I don't care. Montreal and Dallas, we're gonna go with this Stanley Cup final. I actually went with Dallas and Carolina earlier, like in my head, and I kind of just changed that during this video. But I think Dallas gets it done. Now, goals, I think we usually get around 30, 35 ish, 40 goals maybe in a series. So let's go with, yeah, it'll probably be about the number of goals scored in the cup final. Let's just say, let's say 35, or we'll say like 33, because we don't know if it's going to go 7 games. And yeah, this is our bracket, guys. Let me see if I can, yeah. Just want to get this all in frame here. Unfortunately, I can't, because for whatever reason, this format is like, I can't seem to get the full bracket on my screen. And move this down here. Yeah. What do you guys think, though? Let me know in the comments. We're kind of just having fun here. I do pay a lot of attention to hockey, but I can't pay attention to every team. I really only know my team super well. Other than that, it's just like, yeah. Let me know what you guys think, though, and let me know who your picks are. Thanks for watching. Again, just kind of having fun with this, and wanted to get a video out for the playoff start. It's crazy. The NHL season ends and playoffs start just like that. Like, I'm used to NFL, or I'm not used to it because obviously I've been watching hockey for, I guess, 8 or 9 years now, but it's just it's weird how different it is in the NFL. I mean, where you get a week off and you have that much time to make your picks and all that, and NHL is just like, okay, season's over, playoffs start, tomorrow. Not exactly tomorrow, but the day after, which is just crazy. And yeah, I'm super excited. Best time of the year. Summer's coming up. NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, and exciting. So thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys.